Let us unmute ourselves.
Good call. Good call.
Yes. Yes. Thanks for listening, everyone. For everyone who was early.
If you don't know, Mahjong Witch is Maroki.
Me, it's me.
Maroki's opera metal persona.
Yes. I also play Mahjong, and I'm a witch by moonlight while singing opera metal. If you liked it, I have 3 releases on out right now, and you can find me on like Spotify and Apple and YouTube and all the fun stuff. And I know it glitched a little bit because technology is great, but if you want to listen to it in its unglitchy form, you can find it on all your favorite music platforms, and you can leave fun things like 5-star ratings and subscribe. And speaking of subscribe, if you like this live stream, you should also like it and subscribe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's something that we're trying to remember to actually say on our live streams a little more often. So,
and speaking of this live stream, what live stream is it?
This is the the Story Engine 4th live stream writing sprint. I'm Maroki Tong. I am currently a very sick CEO of the Story Engine, so I'm going to apologize for the piles of tissues and coughing that's going to fly around today. I saw some folks talking about drinking ginger tea. I wish I had your ginger tea. I'm drinking this like Chinese made remedy that I boiled on my stove that has like orange peel and ginseng and some other random stuff in it. So that's what I'm having. I'm Maroki. I'm the CEO of the Story Engine. I keep the cogs spinning and the wheels going. And I say cogs because today I was literally working on cogs, meaning cost of goods sold, but cogs of an engine. Yay.
You made a pun. You made such a good pun. Oh, that's so good. I'm really happy.
She's so sick, she's making puns.
Yeah.
Her defenses are down. Get all of your best ones out today.
Oh, no, they're not going to come for me, you guys. So yes, that's me. And to my right here is
I am Eric. I am the community manager of the Story Engine. And I am thankfully less sick, I guess, but really my job right now is to take care of the sick ones, so and keep the machine running.
Yes.
Do you know what you call it when somebody is so sick that their defenses against puns have gone down?
No, I'm scared.
Immunocomedy-promised.
No.
That's a real reach, but we'll allow it.
I'm Peter. I just pulled a muscle reaching for a pun. I designed the Story Engine deck, Deck of Worlds Lore Masters deck, with help from all kinds of wonderful collaborators, including Eric, a graphic designer, Zach, a wonderful team of writers. And I am a writer, and also I do a little bit of songwriting myself. So I think I might join or take inspiration from Maroki and possibly attempt a little bit of songwriting on the stream. I will be muted, of course, but you'll see me noodling with the guitar if I try to figure out lyrics, if a prompt strikes me the right way.
Yeah, so one of the reasons why I wanted to share my music on today's live stream was also just talking about the concepts of writing and more, the last few times we've been really focusing deeply on prose, or for some of you, you've been creating campaigns. Oh, thank you, Patricia. I really, really appreciate it. That means so much. But we've been talking about either building campaigns or building, worlds for campaigns, or storytelling or creating fiction. But obviously, when we do writing sprints, there are so many different ways we can do it. Not everything needs to be about a huge word count, a 900 word count or what have you. Sometimes it can be just 100 words. So one of the things I thought I would challenge myself to do today is use the prompts to write music, write lyrics. And I won't be noodling using any instrument today because a piano is hard to have in this little vicinity, and my voice is officially gone unless I'm singing in like a raspy bass interspersed with coughing. So yeah, but I think, like Peter, I'm probably going to try my hand at songwriting today. And if you guys are thinking of flexing your muscles and wanting to write something a little bit different than your normal repertoire, we welcome you to join us. Already getting some questions coming in today, so love seeing them come in. I know I saw someone writing saying, this is your last writing live stream. We're sorry, we've had so much fun with you guys too. When we first came up with this writing sprint live stream for the new year, we actually weren't sure how popular it was going to be, right, Peter? Like, we kind of were like, maybe
we only scheduled 2 to start because we were like, we're just going to try it, and if no one shows up, then we'll just quietly stop doing it.
No one wanted to sit with us. It was just like the three of us like writing in the darkness. But no, you guys have really turned out. We've loved the stories that you guys have been sharing both in the chat and in the comments. Have really enjoyed them more on social, so that's been great. And yeah, very sadly we're not gonna have the writing sprints anymore for now. Maybe we'll bring them back in a future live stream. And I'm seeing folks saying they're gonna miss us already. Don't worry, we're not going away, guys. We already have a new live stream planned for next week already. We have a whole new series coming out. And Eric, what's it gonna be? You're gonna be the first to really know, guys.
We're just diving right in. So yeah, the new series. Well, a lot of you already know that we have 3 new expansions coming out later this year. And for the next 3 weeks after this one, we are going to be previewing those 3 expansions.
Yeah.
So, we are moving from Wednesdays to Fridays for this, where it's going to be a little bit, I think, I don't know. It seems like a Friday afternoon activity this time around instead of a Wednesday afternoon midweek work activity. But we're going to be showing off the Character Questions live stream next week, or Character Questions expansion, excuse me, next week at 2:30 p.m. on Friday Eastern Time.
Yeah.
And you can actually already find the live stream link is up on our YouTube. So if you want to go and click the notify me button, you'll be notified when that one goes live. You can hit the like button if you like, or leave us a comment if you're excited to see. And we'll be week by week at the same time on Fridays, be debuting all 3 of the new expansions. We'll be doing live creation with them on their own, occasionally mixing them in with other decks, and you'll get to see what they're all about. We're really excited to share them.
Yeah, and yes, we are lining this up so that the romance expansion will be the week of Valentine's Day.
Yes.
we may be obvious sometimes. Some things are just inevitable.
Some things are just inevitable. I see a question coming in. We're going to roll right into our writing sprints very shortly because I know folks are raring to write, but I saw this great little question come in. Do you think there'll be any decks that are specific age-related stuff? So if you combine the mystery deck but with kids, so it's like a story about the stolen crayons.
So the answer is that we have been working with our friends at Nomnivore Games on something a little bit like this, but there's not an ETA on its release, so I can't say too much more about it. But I will say that they've been really great at developing creative storytelling tools for children. At Nomnivore Games, Nom Venture is the name of their child-focused tabletop RPG storytelling system, and they came to us to chat about like different ways we could use cards as props to help them build different young storytellers and build their skills. So we did a bit of work with them on that, but we've sent them our stuff and we're waiting to hear from them on what they want to do with it and when. But in the meantime, we are excited to see what they eventually come up with.
Yeah, so there's that. I know we've had requests on how to get more specific with some of our decks. I think the way we've always sort of described it is that story engine deck is already, we talk about it being genre agnostic. And when we say for folks who want to use it of a certain age group, we always say like it's about 12 and up. Not to say that obviously there's if you're younger and you find that your literary skills are quite proficient, you can certainly use the deck as well. But I think in terms of genre, if you're talking about even writing about kids, it can be a similar concept, right? Like when you hear words like a student or an engineer and stuff, sometimes those could be like children playing with Legos, right? And like the words that we get for prompts don't need to be as literal as we make them. So yeah, so if you're looking at kind of if maybe the question's about maybe writing like children's literature, I certainly think that it's just about the lens you want to put on that day when you're creating a story engine. So, but I think without further ado, maybe Eric, you can walk us through how the writing sprint is going to be like today, or Peter, whoever wants to take the helm. But while we're doing that, folks, if you tell us where you're tuning in from, and also what you're planning on writing today.
And maybe what you're drinking, because we had a little bit of what beverage are you writing?
Yeah, what beverage? I like it. Well, like everyone, you know what? These are like we create our spaces for us when we're writing, right? So yeah, tell us what you're drinking in the chat
and what brand of cough drop you use.
Feel called out here.
So anyway, as you're all doing that, what we will be doing today is we'll be making a very quick prompt. It'll go a little bit quicker if you've been on one of our former live streams outside of this series. There we usually spend a lot of time making prompts, lots of voting. This time we're going to go quick and dirty and get a few cards, maybe not even a full prompt, but a little something on the table, and then we will set the timer for 25 minutes, and we will all write. Well, either nothing or soft music or gentle nature sounds play in the background, as the case may be.
Yeah, you will get to vote for the ambiance. And in fact, this time around, we are going to have you vote for the deck as well. I'm about to roll. I wanted to show some love to the boosters. Eric, I just want to confirm, do you have boosters nearby?
I do have boosters nearby. I don't have bridge expansions nearby. I left those out.
Okay. No worries. We'll stick with boosters today. So I'm going to roll 3d12, and we're going to figure out which 3 boosters we will be voting between, and you'll get to pick a booster. So... do you have your boosters in an order, Eric, where it'd be easy to check numbers 1 through 12?
No, they are completely random.
But if I tell you booster number 1, you'll know which booster number 1 is, or should I tell you which is booster number 1?
You should probably tell me.
Alrighty. So we've got 6, 11, and 9. 6 is going to be mythology. 11 is going to be steampunk. And 9 is going to be post-apocalyptic. So we'll do mythology, post-apocalyptic, and steampunk. Those are one of the subgenre boosters that we're going to use to create our writing prompt here. These are subgenre boosters for the story engine deck. And you can go ahead and actually vote right now for which genre you want to create a writing prompt in. So you can go ahead and vote for steampunk. You can vote for... post-apocalyptic, or you can vote for what's the first one again? Mythology. And you can go ahead and vote in 3, 2, 1, go. The way that we do votes, by the way, is that we count down. Everybody votes at the same time. The first thing to get 3 votes is the winner.
And mythology's taking the lead. Followed by post-apocalyptic. Whoa. Oh, wait.
I think mythology got there.
Did they? Okay, that moved so fast all of a sudden. Like the screen.
Yeah, mythology just snuck in ahead of post-apocalyptic.
All right, Eric, take it away. We're just going to do a standard one of each card type prompt. Although let's have, actually, rather than doing votes, we're going to actually just leave all the cards face up on the table. And what we will do is people can pick their own prompt from the line of prompts. But I'll have you read them all out so everybody can see them.
All the cards. So many cards.
Okay, so our agent is a trickster, a forest god, a skin changer, or an animal god. So 2 types of gods here. Our engine wants to unleash the divine wrath of something, or wants to outwit a god with the help of something. I think that's the right one. Yep. Our anchor card is an alignment, a sacred herb, a gemstone, or a higher plane.
I just realized I'm about to try and write song lyrics out of this.
This is pretty metal.
I know.
Our conflict card is, but they will lose their divine powers, or they will lose their followers. And finally, our aspect card gives us the words knowledge granting, jealous, soothsaying, or golden.
Okay, so you'll get to construct your own prompt. I'm in the midst of typing out all of the individual cards so that everyone can see the full prompts in the chat. And then we will go ahead and count down 25 minutes. Do you guys want to keep a little timer going on the map?
Oh, yes. Yes, I will create my, not egg timer, but countdown clock scenario thingy. How do I do this? I have to do this. And then I scroll up, and then I put it on the screen. Oh, yeah. No. Technology. Tilt. There. tilted. And then we can do this. We can move the aspect card over a little bit. I hope, yeah, I think everyone can see that. Okay. All right. We are good to go, but we'll let you type out all the engine. Oh, I guess we need to also vote on the sounds that we want.
Yes, that's right. You can vote for there'll be instrumental music, there will be ambient sound, or there will be silence. You can vote for music, ambient, or silence in 3, 2, 1, go.
Go. I mean, I guess the nice part about silence is if you really were like, oh no, I didn't get silence, you can at least take out your headphones or mute us for the next 25 minutes and tune back in. I know Peter asked me whether I would want to put on my music for like the play, and I was like, it's opera metal. It's not very like ambient music vibes at all. It would be a lot of like.
I think ambient won.
Ambient. What was the ambient today? Or are we giving us choices too today, Peter?
Ambient.
No,
I'll go ahead and pick something this time around. And in fact, I might actually take music off the table because it's very hard to write music while music is playing. And it's very hard to know the timer has finished if I can't hear the sound go off. So I think that I might actually say no music today, at least for the sections where we're working on songs. And
we have decided to assert music for everyone else because of us writing music.
So selfish of both of you.
Indeed. And I'm just starting out the aspect here, and then we'll be good to go.
And I actually am going to be writing in my notebook as opposed to my computer, because I find that when I write music, I need the flexibility, or I enjoy the flexibility of like moving lines around. And there's just something about like tactile handwriting that I prefer over typing a lot of the times, actually.
Oh yeah, I'm often the same way with songwriting. I think today I'll stick on the computer just because I know I'm not going to know what to do with the piece of paper when I'm done with it. But already, we've got 25 minutes ready on the timer. You can go ahead and hit start, and we'll see you all in 25. I will begin some ambient sounds.
Yes, and we got to mute ourselves so that we don't click clack and no one needs to hear me hacking for 25 minutes.
And we're off.
And I should say very quickly, if folks want to leave questions in the chat, we're always happy to answer them when we come back from the break. So don't, of course, if you guys have anything you want to chat about afterwards, feel free to drop in the chat. Or if it's something that we can answer quickly, we'll try and do that as well.
It's time.
It's time.
I've turned off the rain.
No more rain.
How did everybody do? Let us know what you ended up writing in the chat. Let us know which prompts you used. I'm really curious because I only used a little portion of the prompt.
Yeah, I ended up breaking mine up into 2 different pieces. I've seen some really great prompts come in. I'm just gonna start sharing them here. Got some questions that came in as well, but I'm gonna share these first. So maybe Peter, talk about what parts you ended up picking for your prompts.
Yeah, I mean, I love a trickster, and I love outwitting a god. So I glommed onto that, and I've written like at least one short story. I think I've maybe done a comic. No, I've done 2 short stories about like if you had to like face down death at a game to like win the chance to live longer, ways that you'd like disrupt that trope. So I ended up writing a song about a trickster who like death is coming to their door. They know about the ancient law by which a mortal can challenge death to a game of chance or skill to extend their life, and he challenges death to a game of Dungeons and Dragons. And the goal is just to kind of draw things out as long as possible, like 4 hours on character creation. Like, are you sure we've got your backstory down? And then they start playing the game, and then Death wants to find out what happens next, and Death gets a little like addicted to the campaign, and then he and Death have an ongoing D&D campaign that goes on for however long. I've only written the bit where from Death arriving to him challenging Death to a game of Dungeons and Dragons, but it's off to a fun start so far. And because it's very much one of those like again trickster face down a dark entity for your soul things, I'm entirely ripping off the chord progression from Tenacious D's Tribute because it just really works for this kind of folk song.
It reminds me a little bit. There was like this play. It was a play that was so long they actually broke it up into 2 shows. So if you wanted to see the play, you actually had to attend 2 shows. And this was before they did the split movie thing. This was like circa 2009, 2010. But oh my god, I forgot what it was called. It was called like 1,000 Arab Tales or something. But it's a similar story, except it's more like a woman is married to a king who doesn't like her, and he's like, "I'm gonna kill you," and she's like, "I will."
It's the 1001 Nights Arabian
or
Tales.
1,000 Arabian Nights. Isn't it like Shahrazad or something like that?
Yeah, Shahrazad.
Yeah, it was like that, but I think it was like done in a slightly different way. It was like I think they picked like an alternative for theater purposes. Anyways, I guess similar, but you're not getting death to marry you, I guess.
Yeah, you're I mean, who knows how it ends, right? Like,
I mean, that's a whole genre now.
Moroki had actually never heard the song "The Devil Went Down to Georgia" until a couple months ago.
It's such a good song.
Which would also fit this trope very much.
Yeah. Tenacious D is definitely a nod to "The Devil Went Down to Georgia," and then this is a nod to Tenacious D. So that's what I'm working on.
I like how Francis here, out of all the one that people sharing their prompts saying none, I continued with what I was already working on and managed 579 words. Awesome. Francis, tell us what you were working on today's live stream. Just remind us if you haven't, because I would like to know. Yeah, lots of people doing this stuff. Eric, what did you end up doing?
I started writing another piece of microfiction because I've been enjoying doing that on these little live streams.
Nice.
So I wrote a live stream about shapeshifters.
Oh, cool.
About a shapeshifter.
Fun.
So far, I've got, "You've always been wrong about us shapeshifters. It's not an invasion. I don't want to be your president. We're not a threat to you as a species. I can only hold one body at a time. There will never be more of us than there are of you. That's what you've never understood. I don't have grand ambitions. For me, it's personal. I'm just here for you."
Oh, I like that.
And I'm still working out the back half of that.
Cool.
I have learned that when I write music, oftentimes I think music is one of my few outlets where I get to express like all the emotions I'm having about the world. So usually it's very visceral, I guess, and I have a lot of opinions about the state of the world right now, and I often find that I'm not able to talk about a lot, either because I think in academia or when you're trying to write something concisely, you have to spend so much time thinking about it and you have to be so nuanced about it. But in music, you really don't have to. You can just share the pseudo-symbolic ways of how you want to do stuff. So I kind of realized partway through that the prompts were like allocating themselves in 2 different ways, because a shapeshifter, skin changer, a force god were all too good of a thing for me to write about for the thing I wanted to write about, which meant that I had to make sure that they were the things I wanted to save, like to save the world from the bad things I wanted to write about. So, so I ended up writing something along the lines of, I mean, it'll be very obvious what I've been thinking about once I talk about my raw lyrics. I wrote, "You would condemn civility to ruin, murder those who followed, ones you promised a way out, to satiate the jealousy that rots your liver. Traitor is a word too good for you. I hope the skin changes rip you from your bed at night, climbing through the shadows, bring the world back to alignment. May the skin changers finally reveal the truth, reveal your grandiose fallacies. Your masked men will lose their guns. Your reign will end with a whimper. One fool in an empty room because death is an end too good for you."
Ooh, I like traitors were too good for you. Death is an end too good for you. That's good. That's
Yeah.
nice pairing.
So that's where I'm at.
Cool.
It is Naroki itting, Naroki expressing rage through music, sick rage. Before we move on to the next, prompt, I saw 2 questions that came in that were, and one I'm gonna show the one only because that one question ties into the other question, because someone asked earlier question about the heroes and quests and fool's errands. Looked like it was built to use with story engine deck, but don't have any how would use the deck with lore masters deck. And I did see a similar question come up right afterwards about how to use the bridge expansion deck and how to use the adventure prompts world building expansion. So adventure prompts is the same as the heroes quests and fool's errands. We can probably talk about that a little bit quickly. We won't have too much time to go into depth for how to use all of our expansions, only because today is our writing sprint live stream. But if you do check out our YouTube channel, we actually have a number of live streams that kind of walk folks through on how to use our various expansions. And I'm saying this specifically for the bridge expansions. Maybe sometime before the end of the live stream, we can throw the like a link into some of those into the chat. But in the meantime, Peter, if you want to share a little bit about the adventure prompts expansion deck.
Yeah, so the Adventure Prompts expansion deck, in general, if you're looking for just the basics on how to use it, it does appear in the Deck of Worlds print sample unboxing video on our YouTube, which is like a 20-ish minute video. It's one of the last ones that I open, and I do a quick demo of it using just elements raw from the world of deck that I've created with Deck of Worlds. So that's an example of how to use it without the aid of the story engine deck. But if you have Lore Masters deck, you're in luck because it's actually a phenomenal plugin to it. What I would do is open up your Lore Masters deck guidebook, turn to the very last page on the back cover, page 8, and you'll see there's a little substitution chart for how you can use cards from Lore Masters deck to replace prompts from the story engine deck. And basically, depending on which icons are being called for by the cues in the Adventure Prompts deck, you just instead pull the corresponding Lore Masters deck card. So you'll find that, like I said, on the 8th page, the back page of the Lore Masters deck guidebook, and just swap out the story engine cards for Lore Masters deck cards. And Bob's your uncle. It's gonna work pretty seamlessly. And in fact, you might have options to pull additional elements that Story Engine deck can't create because the Lore Masters deck is a bit more versatile in the types of things you can make with it. So yeah, that's how I would do that. But if you want to, you can check out the, again, it's the 20-minute video called Unboxing the Deck of Worlds print sample. If you go to near the end there, you'll see us do a demo of the Adventure Prompts cards, and you can find in our live stream history, you can find the live stream where we did the bridge expansions breakdown. I think I should be able to find links to both of those. I can post in the chat shortly.
I think Eric just found them.
Okay, awesome.
Yes, so you can I think you can ad nauseum an hour and a half or now at least an hour and a half of just the bridge expansions just for your desire.
Yeah. Have you posted the unboxing video link yet or no?
No, which one was that? It's the unboxing from Deck of Worlds.
Yeah, I've got it here.
Yeah.
Unboxing Deck of Worlds.
And get flashbacks of how we all looked as babies.
Well, this one is me.
I know this is baby
my
Peter.
neighbor, my neighbor's upstairs apartment because it had nicer plants to record near back in 2022. I think this was 2022.
Always use your neighbor's plants.
Yeah.
Until you get your own.
All right. There's the second link.
It was really funny. This is like a side plant joke. Since plants, I don't know, play a thing in storytelling. So we have a tiny little fiddle leaf fig that I got many years ago from someone who worked at a plant shop selling them on cheap. It's only like this big. And I've had a hell of a time trying to raise this little baby. It constantly loses leaves, never seems to grow a new leaf. Always seems to be, it's like, I don't have enough water. I have too much water. And we live in a northwest facing condominium, so it's very little light. Doesn't really grow that much. In all the years, it's only really grown like a itty bitty little bit. And recently, I put a little plant light on top of it, and since then, it's been like sprouting new leaves because it's like, oh my god, I get sun all the time, and I've been really excited. And I was like, Eric, it's gonna finally become the fiddle leaf like fig tree it's meant to be. Eric has never realized that the giant fiddle leaf fig trees that we've seen out in like restaurants and stuff is the little tree we have in our condo, and I think he's terrified.
Yeah, ours is like about to start growing through the ceiling.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna say, yeah. I was gonna also say, like, I was like, Eric, you know the one that's in Peter's place? It's that one. It'll become that one.
Yay! Well, on that note, I think it's time for another prompt. So, Eric, do you have Deck of Worlds expansions nearby?
I do.
Amazing. I'm going to tell you which ones people can vote between. I'm going to roll 10-sided dice this time.
What's number 10?
I think 10 is
reroll. 10 will be main deck. 10 will be main deck. All right. 5, 4, and 9. So going by my grid here. 1, 2, 3. So you can vote between the Coastlines expansion, the Deserts expansion, and we were just talking about it, the Adventure Prompts expansion.
Oh, it's almost like we summoned it.
So you can go ahead and vote once we count down. Don't vote yet for either Deserts, Adventure, or Coastlines. And Eric, why don't you count us down?
3, 2, 1, go.
I swear that was not rigged. I'm just rolling my usual D&D dice.
Your weighted D&D dice.
Yeah. Specifically, I just try and weight the D10s. Nothing else, just the D10s.
Just D10 side. We would just be re-rolling ad infinity.
I think the Adventures won.
Adventures, got it, amazing. Well, then we'll do a very quick demo. Actually, we'll do a demo of how to do it with Lore Master's deck. It's very easy to do it with Story Engine. It's almost self-explanatory, but if you've got Lore Master's deck nearby, we will do it with that instead.
Coastlines was close, but
Very close.
It was very close. A watery adventure would be nice. A beachy adventure would be nice. I don't know. I think I saw a few people saying they were tuning in from I think Missouri, I want to say. I'm not really good with my state's acronyms, but anyone who's out east, they're probably buried in snow like the rest of us. For those of you in Australia, you probably are enjoying some really nice sunshine. Very, very jealous. I think the UK is gloomy and wet, but I can guarantee you're not experiencing the snowmageddon that all of us over here have been feeling over the last few days. We're literally buried under feet of snow.
I have run out of places to put snow when I'm shoveling. I actually have nowhere left to put it.
I saw someone post a picture in front of their garage where the snow was actually piled all the way to the top of the garage door. And he wrote, when I told my neighbor I worked construction, he must have thought I was also a snow shoveler. Because I guess the neighbor had just put all his snow on top of his neighbor's garage. It was a very impolite thing to do, but it was absolutely we have so much snow in Toronto right now.
It's great because they actually did plow the roads, which they don't often do in Toronto, except it actually made everything worse because all the cars that were parked on the street are now just buried between bigger snowbanks. So all of the normal function of the city is just ground to a halt, and the streets are much narrower than normal because they plowed the snow, but they didn't get rid of it.
Yeah, thing with the big city is that unless you remove the snow out of the city, just the whole city just gets smaller and higher and more dangerous. Actually, there was something really crazy. No, I'm just sharing sad news stories. Why am I doing that? It was just crazy because it was a weather phenomenon. I'm not going to do that. Let's pull out the Lore Masters deck instead.
And we'll take a quick look at what we got on the card here. So the way adventure prompts work, you've got a little title for the adventure at the top. This one's called Riddle Master. In the center is the general prompt that you're going to be working with. A mysterious vagabond is offering a reward to whoever can answer their riddle. So we can describe the vagabond. And for this, we're going to draw a what would normally be an aspect card, because that's the aspect icon there. But instead, we're going to draw a modifier card. Modifier cards actually use the same icon as aspect cards because they're basically interchangeable. It's just a card type that's specific to Lore Master's deck. It's been modified a couple ways to make it work because it needs to be double-sided. So we can describe this vagabond as being academic, booming, suave, or dull.
Or
energetic, dreadful, firm, or lethal.
So many different versions.
So everyone can go ahead and pick their own choice for that. And we'll just leave it, one of the sides up. We can type what's on the other side at some point so everyone can still see that.
You know, it's funny that...
And it would just kind of go there, and we're going to leave it out for...
This is one of those moments where I clearly don't follow the rulebook, and I did my own thing in my head, because I probably would have pulled a figure card and taken the like traits or background in the back to kind of pull like descriptions versus the modifier card. So
you in fact are on the money, because actually I don't have the guidebook here, but we were literally Eric and I were literally talking about this in the last 24 hours because we are reprinting Lore Master's deck. I don't know if I'm letting the cat out of the bag by saying that we are actually low on stock on Lore Master's.
You've already let it out. You've dug the hole, Peter. Cat's out. Yeah. Cat's out. Cat's clawing.
The cat's clawing around, and if we need to describe the cat, we have lots of adjectives for that.
My box just broke.
Don't tell the world that.
They don't know what we did to the box.
I know we did terrible things to the box, and this is our mass production sample too, so it's not the perfect version of the box. We tend to use the versions because I don't like okay. Guys, you're all about to learn all the behind the scenes at the Story Engine for like a hot storytelling second. When we make decks, they do not just magic out of the darkness. It takes a lot of sweat, tears, and design and meticulous graphic work. And then we send things off, and then our amazing team in China, Amo, and the factory, they create these samples that they send to us, and they look like almost like the complete thing, but they're not fully the complete thing. And that's usually the moments where we like find errors and small mistakes that we go back and say, hey, like we need you to tweak this by a millimeter, because we literally do that, or change the shade of this, or this resolution slightly off. So that's the version we have. If anyone else has had their Lore Masters deck come apart, not because you decide to chuck it across the room on a regular basis or do other horrific things to it, or as one poor customer we found out over the holidays drove over his entire trilogy. It was really, really sad. He sent photos.
Oh.
Yeah, he his package arrived, and he, I guess, didn't realize it was left on his driveway, and he backed into it and just drove over the whole thing and dragged it onto the road. And then sent photos, and it was like the saddest thing I've ever seen. Anyways,
the actual final production boxes are very durable. You can see me. There's a video somewhere, I think on our YouTube, of me hucking the Leviathan box into the air multiple times.
Stress
testing it, and then there's also there's this beautiful photo shoot I did with Deck of Worlds on like ice flows when I lived like right on the Atlantic in New Brunswick for the winter. And I actually dropped that Deck of Worlds into the ocean, and it was fully submerged for a good like 2 seconds before I yanked it out. And that is the Deck of Worlds that I still use for like regular display, because it actually survived it fine. So yeah, they are the boxes are durable. Is all this to say.
Yes,
and we are reprinting the boxes. We are reprinting Lore Master's deck, and we were looking at the guidebook and making some adjustments to the final page, and literally talking about this exact thing. So Maroki, you said if I was going to describe the character, I would use some of the secondary cues from the figures deck, and we recommend that. We actually just rephrased the language for how we recommend it, but we recommend that you draw a lore card of the type matching the card that is to be described, and then to use the secondary cues. So absolutely, you can go ahead and describe the Vagabond using a card as well, using the secondary cues for a figure card.
Yeah. So Eric, I don't. Okay, I can try and read them really quickly.
Skilled problem solver or causer, hums, whistles, or fidgets. An agenda to establish an economic empire with a material, or a background where they had a traumatic experience at a location.
And actually, moving to the next prompt here, you can use agendas from figure cards in place of engines that are required by the adventure prompts deck. So you can go ahead and use that agenda or draw additional figure cards to get multiple agendas and pick one. And then there you'll see that we have a slash, so we need to draw either normally an agent or an anchor. In this case, you can go ahead and draw another figure card. This time we'll use the primary cue side, which is the colorful side, for what is the... Well, actually, in this case, because we're going to use the agenda, let's just go ahead and use the exact things called for by that agenda. This agenda calls for two different materials cards.
Oh, we're just gonna use this agenda?
Yeah, we'll just use that agenda. I don't want to give people. I don't want to drown people in options, so I'm gonna we'll keep things
endless options.
I'm just gonna draw one.
Sure, sounds good.
String, alcohol, silver, or plaster.
Wow. Okay, so we got a vagabond who comes to the middle of town and is like, "You have to buy me a shot if you can't guess my riddle," and he's just piling up shots, and I love it. I absolutely love this. So those are the cues you can use there for the motivation. And yeah, agendas work really well for that. Alternatively, you could not draw an agenda and just figure out that their motivation is another person, or that their motivation is a particular object. You could draw an object card. There's lots of ways you could resolve that. And then lastly, we have what is the riddle about? This is like what is either the answer to the riddle or maybe a metaphor that's used in it. And again, we would draw a figure card, and we would draw, in this case, an object card. And you could use any of the cues from those. So we will draw a figure card and an object card. We'll use the primary side, which is to say the colorful side, and you'll just have 8 different words you can pick from, which is what the riddle's about.
We have gun, lantern, sheath, or pot, or custodian, consultant, loner, or outfitter.
Okay, so those are what the riddle can be about. Amazing. Well, I think that is our prompt there. So you can write about a riddle master, a mysterious vagabond who comes to town, offering a reward for anyone who can answer the riddle. And then you are welcome to use or to come up with your own answers to the specific details about the quest, including what the vagabond is like, including the economic empire that they're trying to start through these riddles. Or you can give them another motivation. And then what the riddle's about, you can also decide, but we have some options here with gun, pot, lantern, sheath, custodian, consultant, loner, and outfitter. And you know what? I was okay with the headphones off because the timer was on the screen. I didn't lose track of time. So we can vote for music this time again. So we'll go ahead and vote for what you would like. You can you can vote for ambience, for silence, or for music. And you can vote in 3, 2, 1, go.
Also, just trying to start fitting this into the camera frame where I think, like, oh, okay, yeah. Do you want to cover the other cards with it?
Yeah, I think that's okay for now. It's just gonna.
Votes for music. All right.
And yes, the thing that after I talked about all the things about samples and demos that Peter did let out of the bag, it is confirmed we are running low on Lore Master's deck. So if you're hoping to get one before we possibly have to go through a short period of sellout before we restock, now is the time, if that's been one that you've been eyeing for a little while. We're running low on a couple of other things as well, but the one that I know is the most clear in my little foggy brain here is definitely Lore Master's deck. So thank you all, because Lore Master's deck is only really a year old from, the time we finished fulfillment. We actually finished fulfillment around this time. last year, at the start of January. So it's only been in our shop for a year. So it's amazing, guys, that you guys like enjoy that Lore Masters deck so much, and of course all our other decks. It really means so much to us. If we haven't said it enough times already, I'll say it again. We couldn't be where we are without such an amazing community writing and creating with us all the time.
Yeah, thank y'all. Thank y'all very much.
The timer went
Alright.
away. Oh no.
We'll get y'all going here. You can go ahead and hit start. I'll cue the music and we'll catch y'all in 25 minutes.
Catch y'all in 25 minutes. And again, if you have questions, just drop them in the chat.
Drop them in the chat.
We're done, and I'm going to wave the phone at you. Okay, good. He's off.
Pausing the gentle piano, which will be. I'm gonna have to play that again when I explain what I wrote because it's truly something horrible. I'm very, very, very proud of it. It's horrible. You'll see.
Is it music?
It was music, sort of. It started off as I will explain it briefly. If anyone has ever read the Exeter Book of Riddles, it's some of the earliest like written riddles that we have records of, and a bunch of them, the answer is a dick. So I just had the idea for like this riddle master comes to town and like it seems like it's gonna be this big thing, like answer all 10 of his riddles and you win the prize. And he's like, people have been driven mad trying to solve these riddles, and all of them the answer is a dick. So then like the narrator eventually sort of picks up on it. It's like, are they all just a dick? And then the guy's like, yeah. And it's like, okay, well then what kind of prize do I get? And then the riddle master's like, you'll never guess. And then the prize is a dick. Anyway, so I've written a complete, I wouldn't call it a song necessarily. It's more like it sounds like it's going to be a song, and then it just turns out to be kind of aborted early as a guy figures out that it's all just dicks.
Well,
and again, just I want everyone to hear this piano music and then imagine that this is what I'm writing as it plays. And I'm just writing dick riddles. So that's how I spent my 25 minutes.
I mean,
what did you write?
I feel like I'm gonna share what some of the folks have been putting into the chat about what they write. And one of the things I will say is that we haven't said it yet on this live stream. If you're part of the replay crowd, so if you didn't get a chance to join us for a live stream for time zone reasons, work reasons, whatever reasons, but you did watch the replay for your writing sprint, please do share what you wrote in the comments as well. Like, we do read all of them and we love sharing them. And if you're okay with us sharing excerpts on our socials as well, just like, just write in the comments, like, feel free to share this or whatever, because we always love sharing what other folks have written, either in our newsletters for a little feature or our social channels. And for those of you who wrote it into the chat today, just because it's hard for us to follow the chat, if you guys leave us a comment, if you guys want us to share anything in the newsletter, please do so as well. I love Sovereignty Library here, like saying, also remember to like the video.
We're doing our job for us.
Thank you. Yes. Please do like the video, subscribe to the Story Engine Deck YouTube. Yes, subscribe to the channel. Thank you, Wyvern, for doing that. I will share some of the other stories that other folks are writing, but Peter, I think you need to share a little excerpt of your music as I'm putting the other folks' stories onto the screen.
So I think I do want to record a version of this, but it requires two voices. Like, you can't do it as one person on the spot, or you'd have to be better than I am at voice switching. So I think I will try and record some version of this briefly at some point, but I will read it to you. A riddle master came to town and spoke at us askance. If you can solve my riddles 10, a treasure I will grant. But I think you'll find that many minds have been driven quite insane in their endless quest to finally guess the answer to my game. Riddle first, what goes to bed when a man goes to bed and is asleep before a man goes to sleep, but is often awake before he's awake, but is part of him all the same? Wait, I said, is the answer a dick? Well, yes. Wow, you got that really fast. But how about this then, a brain teaser so twisted you'll wish you'd never heard it. Now listen, I am long and shafted, except when half-masted. The only place that I'm let out is the bathroom. Is it a dick again? Well, yes, but are all your riddles dicks? Long pause. Alas, my friend, our game must end. My riddles you have solved. You beat me, yes, you beat me well. You beat me hard and soft. But I'll prove true and give to you the treasure that I pledged. So close your eyes and hold out your hands. What it is, you'll never guess. It's his dick, and that's what I was working on.
I think there needs to be a deep cut version where it is sung over the music.
Oh, the piano music in particular.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me see. Yeah. Okay, we'll make that a stretch goal. Pun intended.
Oh God. A stretch goal for. Oh my God. We're gonna like call this back in like some really, really far crowdfunding campaign down the future.
Yeah, no one hold us accountable to this. Thank you.
Yeah, this is off the record, on the record, off the record. Peter, Eric, what did you write? Was it about dicks?
No, it was absolutely not. I finished a version of the microfiction that I started before about the shapeshifter, and then I started writing another small piece of microfiction using the new prompt. This one was a little bit more. I guess you would say it's about universal basic income. It is a vagabond asking the riddle where it says, "How much does it cost to get drunk?" It's like, that's right, only a couple of bucks. How much does it cost to rent? A lot less, or sorry, a lot more. It's like, if you don't want me to get drunk, you should probably give me more money. Is kind of the long and short of it.
I mean, his logic is unassailable.
I use the piano music to inspire the bridge part of the song, because I realized that if I was writing the song, the chorus would be quite chugging. And what I could imagine is, like, I always love songs that have a lot of contrast. A lot of my music tends to go from like fast to slow or slow to fast, or like I like stretching the vocal range, quite a bit. And I kind of imagine this like moment that it's going to be the bridge and the music. It's just like everything just kind of shuts down. I also was very influenced by The Outside, which is very much like a bright winter sky right now. So yeah,
Cool.
that's kind of what I did.
Right.
Yeah. So, yeah. And the lyrics I just wrote for that was literally like, blue winter sky, cold the snow has fallen, covering bodies fallen, clear winter sky, the voices beyond their calling, bring the stories back before our memories are lost in the wind. Which has nothing to do with the prompt at all. But I was continuing my song. And my song set felt too angry for like a vagabond bringing riddles.
That's fair. That's fair.
I'm sure there's like evil vagabonds out there, but when I hear the word vagabond, it's like a lovable character. Don't you think?
I think my vagabond's a bit of a scamp, I might say. Just a bit of a scamp. I love this. Vagabond that has you solve the riddles, but the prize is to get you to ask others the riddles, and it's basically a pyramid scheme. Love that. So these prompts study helped me create a short story I want to write for a class that I use the vagabond as a twist and a way out of his curse, but also remind him he's a shapeshifter. Awesome.
I can imagine vagabonds like they just forgot their shapeshifter for a while. They're just like, oh right, I actually can do this.
Yeah, I was just thinking of a book that Peter and I both read last year, where that's kind of what happens.
Or they just forget their shapeshifter.
No,
Oh yeah.
Is that a spoiler?
It's a bit of a spoiler,
so don't say it.
So
Don't
I'm not
bring
going to
up
say
the book.
anything else.
Yeah.
Can't bring up the book, despite wanting to tell people to read the book. Possibly, they'll just have to bring it up in a future live stream without bringing up the spoilers, so people will never know that they were connected.
We'll recommend it in an unrelated live stream.
An unrelated live stream. Okay, I think we have one more like super sprint left.
Yeah, one more prompt to go. I think this time, let's see, we've got, you know what? Let's pull, do you have the emblems expansion near you, Eric?
I do.
Why don't you
That'll be a fun one.
pull an event card, and pull one of the emblem cards, and we're just going to do no words. We're a couple image-based prompts, and people can do what they want with it.
An emblem or an event card, you said?
Yeah, an event card and then one emblem card, and use the primary side of the event card so it's all images. So in case you can't see, we'll describe the images to you. Keep in mind, these are all slightly abstracted. One sort of looks like it could be a stone or a shield shattering. One sort of looks like it could be a comet coming through a cloud.
Man, I totally thought it was like a needle stabbing a cotton ball.
Oh yeah, that works too. Yeah. One kind of looks like a beaker, and an Erlenmeyer flask next to a test tube.
And a dick.
Yeah.
And
then one of them kind of looks like a plant growing, but it also has like a cloud around it, so it's hard to say exactly. So those are some of the prompts that you can use for your inspiration. Oh, and if you don't know, this is the emblems expansion for Lore Masters deck. All of the primary cues are images instead of words, and then the secondary cues have to do with images, symbols, runes, glyphs, alphabets, etc. And then there's 30 cards that are just images and characters that you can use to fill out those prompts about imagery. So we've got a hand holding a laurel is what it looks like to me. What could be an abstraction of wind or air, or it could be three stalks growing or musical notes. We've got something that looks a bit like a reticle or crosshair. We've got something that looks like a weird steampunk H, or it could be a satellite. And then on the other side, because you get twice as many prompts for bang for your buck, we have what looks like maybe a lyre or lyre or harp, something that looks like it could be an axe spinning, or just an incomplete stamp or sigil. We've got something that looks like a carved runic Y, and then something that looks kind of like a squid, or it could be a funny hat or an alien.
Great.
Right.
These are going to be hard to describe for folks. So if someone wants us to flip the modifier card again partway through, which is what I did last time on request, happy to do so. I was going to say TIE Fighter too, but I was trying not to interject with my Rorschach opinions too often. Plus, that might be a copyright infringement for us. This was not like a TIE Fighter at all.
I mean, you're allowed to say that it looks like a TIE Fighter. You just can't. It just can't be a TIE Fighter.
Yeah. Cool. Well, take whichever of these you want to work with. And again, actually, we'll do a vote one more time for silence, music, or ambient. Don't enter your thing yet. Again, it'll be silence, music, or ambient. And Roki, why don't you count us down?
3, 2, 1, and vote. And it'll probably be different ambient this time if you guys voted ambient, just so that people, if they're wondering if they're going to get something different.
Yeah, always something different. Same thing with music. 1, 1, 1.
Not gonna lie, I don't really have a warm drink anymore, but being sick, then music was also very soothing for me. And I was like, oh, I could take a soft nap.
We've got 3 for ambient.
We do have 3 for ambient.
3 for ambient.
So I'm going to do forest sounds this time.
Is it a Norwegian forest this time, or is it another forest?
No, it is the same European forest.
Was it European or Norwegian? I don't remember. Was it that specific?
I thought it was European in spring, is what I remember it being, but I changed the file name to something shorter because it's hard to read the long file names on our platform. And so I don't actually remember anymore.
Oh, okay. That's okay. It is either as specific as a Norwegian forest or unspecific as a European forest. We will let people decide. And if you are an expert on forest sounds, you can tell us if it's that specific.
Especially, I think the birds will be the giveaway. There's some birds here and there. That'll be put your Merlin app on, and maybe you can tell us.
Yeah.
All right. Beginning forest sounds.
My timer. Oh God. Timer. 10 minutes.
Yeah, we'll do 10 minutes for the final sprint.
And I'll apologize. My phone, it actually is just dimming, but I think it's just dimming like a lot more because it's trying to be smart and not like blind people. But it actually is just dim, not going to sleep. There we go. Set up for 10 minutes.
And we're off.
That is time.
That is time.
Thank you, sweet birds of the forest, for serenading us in our
We
final sprint.
we had several people say did just mirror those birds sound angry.
Oh, there was one caw, like not a caw, but like a bit of a caw-like sound that did to me sound like the bird was mildly annoyed. Like he was like, "Hey, I didn't sign an audio consent form.
Ugh.
Put that recorder away." There was one little caw that sounded like that to me. So what did everybody write? Let us know in the comments or let us know in the chat what you worked on for that last 10 minutes. And everybody else, what were you working on? Rookie Eric.
I was at the point after trying to put out more lyrics, realized I was at the point where I wanted to try and figure out the musical part, where I would want to kind of figure out how the lines I've already put together would sound like, which requires full working usage of my voice. So after noodling around a little bit, I sort of just let it percolate in my head a little bit, and then I just flipped around my notebook really randomly. Might have looked at some to-do lists, but
You always sneak into the into like doing stuff, practical stuff mode in the last one. It's always in the last 10 minutes that you start to
I know.
tasks.
It's like me trying to it's like the cracks are showing.
Well, I do appreciate that you did 2 solid sessions, well, 2 and some solid sessions of songwriting.
I think sometimes like songwriting, I find, I don't know about you, Peter, but I find that for songwriting, it's like I have like a hard out. Like at some point, I literally won't be able to compose music more because I start playing the same melodic lines, the same intervals in my head. It starts sounding very, very repetitive. And then it's like I know that that particular juice has already run out. So I think I was just kind of enjoying the vibes, enjoying the birds, enjoying the angry birds and the happy birds.
The angry birds and the happy birds.
How about you, Peter? Did you utilize the emblems?
I did. I went back to the first song that I've been working on about challenging death to a game of D&D, and I was taking inspiration from it's on the event card on the left, what looks like to me a shattered shield. I took inspiration for that. I decided that the character in Death play D&D for a while, and the rule is that if Death kills their character, then the person dies. So they're doing anything they can to keep their character alive. And then at some point, Death is so invested in the campaign and the storyline too that Death does get like a hit where the shield breaks and the character is going to die from like a disintegration beam. And then Death decides to fudge the roll and let the person live so they can keep playing. And I think it's kind of a fun twist that plays into the D&D like vibes. And then it's tied to the shattered shield as the inspiration for that.
The jerk DM all of a sudden becoming a good DM.
Yeah. Exactly. I think that's a fun way to do it. So I've got notes for how it's going to end. I didn't get to that part, but currently they've finally started their first session after he buys like a month of time with like giving Death all the rule books, making Death make a character. They're going to trade time DMing back and forth, and they establish the rules.
Nice. Wow, France is getting over 1,000 words in today. Now, was that just for this session, like in the last 10 minutes, or was that total? Yeah, drop us your word count. And remember, guys, we're sharing your word count or progress, but by no means is that a competition. I think I probably wrote a grand total of like, I don't know, like 200 words today, and that's okay, right? Like, depending on the format, one of the things, when depending on the format you do, you don't need that many words for what you're doing, or if you're doing microfiction or poetry or what say have you. Eric, what did you end up working on?
I finished the 2 pieces of microfiction that I started in the first 2 sprints.
Oh,
nice.
I did not touch the emblems at all.
Okay, that's fair.
Did anyone use the emblems other than Peter? I want to know, because I saw that Jimmy, I think, was continuing on their story. I didn't see whether the emblems got integrated deeply into it or not. But if you use the emblems, I'd be super curious to know. I did see a lovely little question from Kimmy, I think, asking how my romance story is going. I've been thinking about it a lot. I haven't done much more writing since, but it's interesting. I managed to kind of think up like how the story's going to end, and there's going to be a perspective. So the entire story is written from one perspective, and I think I might, for the one final chapter, do a perspective shift and write the final chapter from the perspective of like the other main character in the story, and I think it'll be interesting. Um, I'm kind of navigating because it is a historical Canadian romance and it's interracial and it's during a period of time in history when a lot of like Chinese immigrants were very poorly treated in Canada, and it's like a different time, right? So gender roles were so different back then, and what is considered now, obviously like a lot of things that if I was writing it back then, writing historical fiction is always one of those like I find is like trying to deal with it sensitively is always something I've always been trying to figure out how to navigate, and how do I tell the story, how do I keep it true to the time without sending a message that what happened during those times is okay.
Yeah.
So navigating that, there's and I did see that you wrote something along the lines of can't make the next couple sprints. You might have missed the little note at the beginning, Kimmy. We hate to tell you this at the very end of this live stream, but this is actually our last writing sprint for now. This is the end of this.
Now.
This is the end of this series. But
well, okay, yeah, we are seeing a lot of love for the sprint. So like if it's something that people really want, we'll see what we do with it next. I have a feeling this won't be the last one we ever do. But if you'd want something else for next week, we are doing another live stream series beginning next Friday instead of Wednesday at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And this time we are going to be showcasing our new expansions for the Story Engine deck. Those expansions are coming out later this year. And we will be kicking things off with the Character Questions expansion next Friday. The week of Valentine's Day, we'll be showing off the Romance expansion, because of course we are. And the week after that, we will be showcasing the Relationships expansion. So this is a whole new expansion set. I think they will all be at 2:30, I believe.
Yeah, I think we try to keep it consistent for everyone, just so in case folks do like joining us live, they can plan accordingly. And we really appreciate you making the time. We like hanging out with all of you. And you know what? If you guys are looking for other spaces to hang out, like again, we have an amazing Story Engine creative collective that is not run by us. It's run by some amazing moderators who are just also fans of the Story Engine. They have a Facebook group and a Discord. You can always see if you can coordinate like writing sprints with them. We have a lot of ideas that we're trying to like do for 20. We always have more ideas than we have time. Especially when it's just mostly like the three of us trying to make the dreams go. But we have a lot of ideas for 2026 for this year, and maybe more writing sprints will somehow find their way as a part of it as well, in some ways. Yes.
Yeah.
But I think we're super excited to be sharing these new expansions. I know some of you have been asking for some of these expansions for a while. I think in every live stream we've had a few folks being like, oh, wouldn't it be nice if there was a romance expansion? Wouldn't it be nice if there was a romance expansion? So we've heard you, like when you guys talk to us, we do hear you loud and clear. Wait, there's new expansions? Why, yes, there are going to be new expansions. They aren't out yet. They made the announcement. We're going to start sharing the news. We will be open pre-orders.
Now is a very good time to get on the mailing list if you're not already.
Yes.
You can sign up at storyenginedeck.com. And now's a very good time to be on the mailing list because we'll be doing some early access stuff for our most engaged subscribers. So yeah, if you have not if you're on the mailing list and you haven't opened an email from us recently, go open any email from us. That'll basically get you onto our list where we do the early mailings. So yeah, it's a good time to be on the mailing list is what I'll say.
Good time to be on the mailing list. And the mailing list is the place to learn about everything firsthand. So, it's kind of the way to kind of get the behind the scenes on everything. And I guess occasionally the live streams, I suppose, because this is when our tongues are the loosest.
Yep.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, everyone. Again, if you enjoyed the live streams, please give this video a like. Subscribe if you want to share your stories in the comments after the live stream. If you would like us to share it on social or anything, please do. Am I missing anything else, Peter, Eric? I'm asking you too because my brain is very clogged up with funny stuff right now.
I think those are the important ones. Next week, everything is going to be about the expansions, I think.
I have magical pelicans in my brain.
And to answer the question here, the new expansions are just for the story engine deck, although I would say that they kind of could work with Lore Master's deck figure cards.
I think the character questions in particular, you can kind of use anytime you want to do character development. It doesn't have to be with the deck. They are the most independent of all of them. And then the romance expansion and the relationship expansion can kind of be used in the same way you would use regular story engine cards. It's going to be the same, like a familiar format.
You'll just have to tune into the live stream.
Yeah. Cool. Well, thank you, folks. We'll catch you in the next one. And if you have any questions that we haven't answered, go ahead and drop them in the comments, and we'll make sure that we get back to you. And yeah, sharing this. Get well soon, Maroki.
Thank
Don't get sick,
you.
Eric. All right. Have a good one, everybody.